we'll recap our vacations. And I, of course, went to Big Sky Country, went to Montana, and did what manly men do. I went fly fishing there. And it was great. A lot of fun. Beautiful, beautiful. We're big in Butte, Montana.
Yeah?
Yeah. Can't walk down the street in Butte, Montana. In fact, I was fishing with one of my brothers, my older brother, and I have a fish. I've caught a fish, and we're going down kind of rough waters, and he's on the back of a raft, and he somehow falls off, and he hits his head on a rock. So I've still got a fish on, and my brother is in the water. He's just hit his head, and he's bleeding. To which I say to my guide, the fishing guide, well, can I land this fish before you bring my brother into the boat? Which my brother was fine with that. He respected that. So I brought in my whitefish and reeled it in, and I looked at it, and then we decided to bring in my brother into the boat. Well, he needed 7 staples in his head. So we have to leave where we are to drive to downtown Butte, Montana. And my brother's got blood, coming out of the back of his head. I don't know if he's got a concussion. And we go in there and get him stitched up. And, his one request was, could I get a pack of cigarettes? And I said, all right, yeah, we'll get you a pack of cigarettes. So he's smoking a heater outside a convenience store with, staples in his head. And, it's just part of the trip. I mean, this is what men do. We put our lives on the line. Yes, Eden.
How far into the trip was the accident?
I don't know. It was all blending together. It was just one big sunrise, one big sunset.
As the days do.
Yeah.
Out in...
Yeah. The days are forever out there.
Big Sky Country.
Big Sky Country. Rainbow trout, brown trout, graylings, whitefish, cutthroat. That's what we were fishing for.
Got them all.
Yeah. Well, I didn't get the cutthroat.
Wow.
They call it the Grand Slam, but there's 5 fish, and I didn't get the cutthroat. But I got everything else. Yes, Paul?
The staple story sounds, and the pictures you sent sound like the script for A River Runs Through It, too. I mean, this is fantastic. You're all set.
Yeah.
They come back. One of the brothers goes in the water. Do you stay with the fish or go help your brother? It's perfect.
It was a mess from the standpoint of my brother and I fly fishing, and we're at opposite ends of a raft, and our lines are getting tangled. Like, it's just, it's a mess.
It's a metaphor. It's a metaphor.
Yeah.
It's a metaphor.
And then the guide is there, and he's working so hard. Max did a great job, but and then my other brother was meanwhile with a guide, and their relationship was along the lines of Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet in Titanic. Like, this guide, you got the feeling he was holding my brother while he was fly fishing to help him along the way. And, of course, he caught all the fish, and he was the teacher's pet. Meanwhile, my brother and I are, fighting for our lives on the Big Hole River. Yes, McLovin.
I'm doing some internet research. Are you sure it's not pronounced Butt, Montana?
Yeah.
Okay, that joke had to be said. We're all thinking it.
You're better than that.
Not really.
No, you're not. Yes, Todd.
These rafts, do they have basic first aid kits as far as the bleeding? Or what was done for him before? Because obviously getting the fish was more important to you than the brother.
Do you really care?
I do, actually. I'm surprised.
Well,
that,
you're never going to be on a raft.
No, but medical attention was delayed so you can get that fish in. That surprised me.
No, they had some kind of first aid there, but my guide said, "Hey, you need stitches." To which my brother said, "No, I don't." And he's got blood coming down the back, of his neck.
Merely a flesh wound.
Yeah, I said, "No, you probably need to go." But I was fishing. I mean, it was great. Like, I finally started reeling in fish, and our brother has to fall out of the damn raft. Yes.
And your brother, does he have a history of doing this? You know how there's always one family member that it's like, oh, great, of course.
Yeah.
So-and-so's got to go to the hospital. Like, okay, let's go.
Yeah, McLovin.
So were you aware that Montana was in the news last week?
Yes, I was. Yes.
When did you become, want to share the news?
Well, there was a tragedy where, a bear went into a campground and killed somebody.
Was that on your mind when you're out there on the river?
No, but we did talk to people who they know the area up there, and that's, I'm just curious. We didn't see any bears where we were, but the other part was Yellowstone was shooting about an hour away from us, and I mean, I didn't want to go in there and see Kevin Costner and say, "Hello, I'm here." I mean, you want to use? I mean, I thought about it, but I thought, you know what? I'm here. It's vacation. I'm fishing, fly fishing, and doing manly things. And that I didn't want to disrupt from our camp there. Yes, Ian.
At any point that you saw your brother's head leaking blood all over the place,
Yes.
did you think of this might attract some bears? Then not good?
Well, I thought if he kept bleeding into the water, he might attract more fish. So
Okay.
I
Okay.
thought if we left him in there for a little while, maybe we get.
Hey, what's the rush? Are you dizzy? No, okay.
What are you using there? Fly fishing? No, what typo negative?
Yeah, it's my brother's blood.
Yeah.
I mean, he's really committed. He's committed to the fishing here. Yes, McLeod.
I'm freaked out by bears and fishing and hooks and all this.
Yeah.
But this is like this is manly
Yes,
stuff.
it is. Okay, but here's the worst part. Now, you thought my brother falling over and banging his head, and we have to take him to the emergency room. I actually hooked myself in the face. So when you're fly fishing and if there's wind in Montana, and all of a sudden I'm casting, and the wind
You're thinking
Classic.
Brad Pitt. You're thinking the river runs through it.
and the wind blows this fly and it goes right into my cheek. Now, I did the manly thing. I just pulled it out. Yeah. And started bleeding.
Was the barb?
Well, they didn't have
They don't have barbs.
because in Montana, I mean, you're trying to protect the fish, so everything
it.
was catch and release. So it wasn't like your normal hook. As my guide said, if that was a normal hook, we'd have a big problem. But it's enough to catch a fish on, so it went right into my cheek. And I wanted to play it up a little bit more, but I was hoping that it could have been like a little bloodier, just something that shows that this is a contact sport. It was almost a tragedy for me. And then the guide said, "You better put on your Polaroids because you don't want to lose an eye." And then so I had to put on my sunglasses there. So, yep.
Had to be reminded of your safety equipment.
Yes, I did.
That's always a good sign.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. But I fell down in the river. You go wading. They make it look nice. There's professionals. The guy, John Barrett, he's one of the great fishermen that you'll find in the world, fly fishermen. And I'm out there, and these rocks were like if you put snot on a bowling ball and you tried to walk on it. That's what it felt like. And I went down twice into the water. But, that's part of the risk and the reward of fly fishing in Montana. So you guys are lucky I'm still alive because it was touch and go.